All right, everybody, how you doing today? Get it started for Thursday, and just let everybody know, as you can hear in my voice, a little bit of strain, a little laryngitis. So I'll probably go halftime today. Don't want to talk myself out too much. Got a little Wolfman Jack thing going on, if you want to know what I mean. Yeah, let's go Madcaps. Can't wait till those guys are playing another show. Maybe in Phoenix. I have to talk to some people. Anyway, how about crypto really quick? And then we're going to get into probably just an overview of the most important markets, which I think are gold, crude oil, Bitcoin, obviously. Looking at Ren, I popped Ren up, and this is pretty much accelerating, much like all of these long term patterns, finally. I like that. And we can treat this the same. I'll go through a few, but they're all pretty much did the delayed reaction, and then we're in a type 1 move. As I said on Monday, Tuesday, these established a nice primary uptrend, and then now doing an accelerated thrust. Should follow that. And again, we get up to these target 1 levels. I would be looking for taking profits up there, no doubt. Here's one that exploded. We mentioned this before. I think it's just getting started. Here's Rarible. We had a couple patterns down here, just under 10, maybe as low as there's that crab, but I think the bat pattern is probably more important. And again, that's just getting started. The problem, there's not really a problem, but actually the reason why this stuff is going to take more time is because it was so decimated. So I think I think we have to be really careful, jumping the gun, and know that this is still going to take time. But these are in a good spot. Quick shout out to everybody in the chat. How you doing this morning? Appreciate it. Absolutely, yeah. I'm again, for those that are just getting in, I'm gonna go probably halftime today. As you can hear it, my voice pretty hoarse. So I want to be fresh for next week, and I'm gonna have to just wait. I wanted to roll out a couple of things, but I'm gonna have to wait. Let me see how I am next week. So really quick, thank you everybody. What's going on? Hey, Riley, Legacy Harmonics, check them out. Good videos. I really appreciate that, Riley. Legacy Harmonics starting to put out a lot of good HPC videos. And all of you folks, HPC users, we're working with Harmonic Pattern Collection. Go to harmonictrader.com, please. Become a basic member. It all starts there. Everything you want to know and learn about harmonic patterns begins there and ends there. You get with the books, you get with the videos, and then you get with the software. That's what I do. That's why I'm doing it this way. All of these resources are free. If you want to get with the other material, check it out after you've exhausted the free trials. Best way to go. Let's go one or two more of these special altcoins, because I do think they have a long way to go. Here's VeChain. This is another one where it started the thrust. Actually has made progress since Tuesday. But again, even though we were way down at this hop level, and that was 4 cents off the hop, off that crab, it's going to take time, but we will go up to target level 1, and that's 11.5 cents. So, flashing a little bearish pattern, but that's only temporary. Not too worried. Here's another one. Take a look at sand. I think this is probably a better opportunity We want to be looking for these patterns that on the daily or weekly have done the 1-2. I've mentioned this. Okay, this is going to take more time, and this could be a situation that takes a better part of 60, maybe 90 days. 60 days would put you basically into late April to get up to your target 2 level, or go 90 days, they're talking end of May. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. One or two more. Let's take a quick look at what. Here's Poly. Someone mentioned Poly on the last session. Was it Polygon or was it Matic? Let me see here. I always get those two confused. Well, this Poly situation is early, coming off the 886. Look, basically all time, like everything else. All time retrace. There, 886 is at 37 and change. You're 51 now. Definitely still a ways to go. Think of it this way. The better way to think of it, do an all-time retracement off the top. Are you at a 382 yet on any of these? That's how we would look at it harmonically. Show me what the minimum 382 retracement level is on any kind of reactive bounce. And that takes you up to 75 cents. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. We haven't even looked at that yet. Where'd it go? Where's Bitcoin? There you go. So recall, we came in last session, and we were hitting a crab pattern right at 47,000. HSI up here. There was a couple things. What was it on the hourly? I think it was. There was about 47,000. We're still in the pause. Where'd that go? What was the somebody refresh my memory. I know we had a deep crab up here, and we're looking at a pause. It was kind of a in between pause here, but still looking for a pause. Whether I don't want to be searching around for this all day, but again, I'm only looking for a brief pullback up in this zone. And as I said on Tuesday, go back to Tuesday's session. Monday we did all crypto and laid it out, pretty much starting to look for a pause at this HSI on the retest around 47,000. And we could even, you could connect some dots, and you could say, a couple people asked me, we were talking about this last time, is this a butterfly at a 127? Right there. And I said no, because your B point is not a 786. Your B point would have to be like right there if that was a butterfly. So all it is really just a 127 extension. Probably the more relevant connect the dot scenario would be just off of the March data. And you could say it's something like this. We could say kind of deep crab territory. We did get that at a 1902. But just a temporary pause. I mean, really, even if we were going to say, let's connect the dots with that deep crab, we have, take a look. Your B point here was at above an 886. So X to A to B at an 886, or even a little bit above, triggers this deep crab. Now, the deep crab or any crab situation usually will go to a 1618. Again, look what happens when we hit that 1618. It's beautiful. goes right through. And now we know crabs will overshoot. So 1902 is the complement. But again, pretty strong into that zone. I think just a pause here. What's going on, everybody? Got a few more people popping into the chat. Welcome. Again, I'll probably take us till about 12:30, maybe another 20 minutes or so. I'm pretty hoarse today. Going to try to save my voice. But definitely big shout out to everyone. Welcome. We'll be back on Monday around 11:30 and Tuesday next week, and then get into a couple of new things that I hope to wrap up and be ready to roll with by next week. I think some of you know what that is. Let me see here. Thanks. Let's look for Bitcoin again. If you're looking for some kind of pullback level, which we were really hoping to get some kind of type 1 move over the next, I don't know, 2 days, 3 days. And maybe that comes at a 382. Just be mindful of this level at 44. Possibly come all the way back down to 44 to then start the return. Definitely, a pause is kind of needed after a nice 1,000 point rally, or excuse me, 10,000 point move in the last 2 weeks. Hold on one second. I'm going to have to take some honey. This is ridiculous. I'm absolutely scratching my throat. Okay, there you go. So much better. Let's jump to Ethereum. Made a lot of progress. Fairly impressive. Come on, where'd you go? Ethereum at 33.50 right now. And I want to go off the daily. Again, with all of these crypto charts, yes, there's opportunities on a 4-hour time frame, but I think for the monster levels, go with the generated patterns and the levels associated with them. They've been extremely reliable. They've been following the Type 1, Type 2 framework. We understand why. I mean, this is an interesting crab pattern. It's not pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but the reason why you're tracing out an X, A, B, C, D down to a 1618 is because your B point here fits within the tolerance. Your A, B, C, D component, that alternate structure, fits down here. And your BC, that's a 2618. And we talked about that on Monday. 2450 that's huge for the entire trend. I would not want to see 2450 ever get violated again, period. Now, I want to see if we're going to pull back now at target 1, or are we going to come up higher? Here's your target 1 level. On the last reaction, we did not hit it. But now, we just hit it, what, 3 days ago? Or was that Sunday night? And not able to follow through, but not too bad. The only thing I want to see, just a continuation of the uptrend. So, a couple bars pausing, not a biggie. But look at the indicators for Ethereum. Still haven't rolled over. And here's something I want to watch for going into the weekend. Amplified RSI, and the same with standard RSI, quite frankly, still moving up. Amplified's in the overbought, okay, hasn't rolled out of the zone yet. If we can turn up literally over the weekend and get amplified on the daily for Ethereum to kick back up, that would be super bullish. I mean, it really is. It's another one of those small moves that can be indicative of with a greater potential. of something to come. And as I said before, target 2 at 38.86, that wouldn't surprise me on this run. So check that out. Also, HSI has not come out of the zone yet. We need to see that do a full trigger before I would consider this big move to be done for now. So 2 or 3 more days, we come back on Monday, see where that is. If it turns up, and that's kind of what I'm thinking might happen here, this actually might turn back up, and then that would be a second leg. Let's keep an eye on that one. It's done a great move. I mean, crypto has done exactly what it needs to do. Gave you a big bar, gave you continuation, and we might see some digestion, but after a couple of bars, 2 or 3 days, you want to see this continue, not retrace. 32.79, 32.80, critical number for Ethereum. It has to hold above that. Come back on Monday, see what's going on there. Total crypto market cap. This is the other really interesting chart. If I can find it. What's going on with all that? There's total. So we talked about this on Tuesday. 2.09 trillion. And let's be that exact. Let's be that exact. And we can see why. So total crypto market cap at 2.09 trillion is your target one level that finally hit. On your first reaction going back to January, February, you didn't hit it. So technically, yeah, that's still a type 1 reaction. And I would be looking for, let's see what happens over the next 24, 48 hours if HSI truly is going to roll over. I mean, the fact that we've hit 4 days, there's the target one levels at 2.09, and just extend it. So tell me what it's doing at that level. Ask yourself, what's it doing at 2.09? 1 bar, 2 bar, can't get higher, 3 bar, lower high, doji. Now, are we going to close below this? A close underneath at 2.04? Yeah, you might start giving some of this back. I'm not quite there yet, but it's no coincidence this thing is absolutely just going sideways at target one level. And so probably more time. More time. Good way to think about it. 1 or 2 more. I'm going to jump over to the other platform. And then hopefully, I'll be in a better spot next week to roll out more. I was going to roll out, and we will. We're going to do a session coming up. I'm just not with my. I was going to do it in about 10 days with my voice and everything. I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to need several more days before I can commit. But we'll be doing a couple things, and again, come next week, I'll roll it out. That's not Ren. I wanted to look at. Where's the other one? Oh, let's look at Cardano quickly. I haven't looked at that in a while. And this too this has a really nice bat pattern right off the low. So here's a spot where Cardano hasn't been too strong. Perfect pattern. And another one where we're day 3 or 4 since terminal bar. And now starting to roll over. And the big thing about Tuesday's session is that really highlighted the fact that most larger reversals are going to require several bars. Even on the reactions type 1, you're talking 3 to 5. And that puts us down to target 1, I think, for Cardano, easily 105. Trading 116 right now. That's probably it for now. I mean, that's a good way to think about it. Cardano had a nice run off of, if you recall, look at the daily Go back. This daily bat pattern kind of ugly, but that was at what, 125, and you couldn't even get above 125. More time, definitely more time. And what's going on there? Let me see if I've got that. I have a new HSI, folks, that I'm going to roll out that fixes this time situation. So that was part of what I want to roll out maybe over the weekend. Again, my voice is thrashed, but this fixes it. And what we're looking for on Cardano is essentially the next HSI test. So let me highlight that. And change it. So looks like this. With Cardano, I think that's like a lot of these where you had that first thrust. We're going to get another opportunity off of these longer term patterns now with this next pullback. And that's, I said April really could be an interesting month. And I want to focus on it. I'm not going to jump on anything just because it's running up, but I do feel this is maybe the first time for Cardano since the top where we form some kind of W formation that stabilizes it. And even though there's a bearish pattern, I think we just get a reaction. We come off, do a little reaction, and then this is where the return and the retest of this zone is going to be so telling and good opportunities. If you didn't catch it way down here close to the hop on Cardano or a lot of these, then I think it's, you're going to get another chance here coming up. That's the way to think about it. Hey, Paul. Yeah, Paul says he got into comp. I remember you mentioning that. Compound. And that did explode. But that's another one. Okay, Compound was, isn't that a weekly? No, daily. Here you go. Compound, we looked at that yesterday. Tuesday. Couple of crab patterns. That crab pattern, but this smaller crab pattern is what you want to look at. And did it hit 163? Yeah, 163.29. That was target one. And that's it for now. Pretty amazing how it does that. But again, target one level for Compound hits the level and immediately rejected. So eyes on that. Careful. The other one, yeah, banned. That's just going to take time. Band's another one. We were talking about 380 or something. 372. There you go. It was a big Gartley at the hop level. Now you have another smaller Gartley pattern, but I think that's just going to be a pause. Probably do a reaction. And then, again, like a lot of these structures shaping up, after we get the pullback, it's from that point that I think we could launch. You get some kind of bearish pattern. Maybe you get a little bullish pattern after it, but after the pullback, the next one is what I really, where I want to be positioned. Here's Binance Coin. I haven't looked at that in forever. And this was a bat pattern. Big bat off the October low, the 886. Really nice. Target one for that was it's 463. But you did form an HSI working against you right now. Again, a lot of these signs are saying probably pause. Pause. More consolidation after a nice thrust up. And that's how I'd look at that. I'd look at all of them that way. Chili's, same way. Someone's saying that. Yeah, Chili's is a shark. Look at that beautiful pattern. Folks, if you want to get with Harmonic Pattern Collection, again, please jump over to Harmonic Trader and get with the basic members and send your username for free 14-day trial to our email address at hpc@sr-analyst.com. You'll get set up. But Chili's is a couple of things. As crazy as Chili's was months ago, it's right back, and a lot of patterns here. The bat pattern on Chili's, this is another one that dropped to its top level, and it was really ugly. This was just a nosebleed all the way down, but finally got to the right of the trend line. I know we mentioned that. Go back to the session from end of February, maybe 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. I know we were talking about this. Chili's, I would take a look at, a shark doing a type 1 reaction and against this larger bullish pattern. And then, again, I think it's going to set us up for something like that. Keep an eye on it. All right, I can tell. I got about 5 more minutes with my voice. So let's get to what matters, really matters. Today, markets are bouncing all over the place. I'm not too concerned. I really want to look at how we're going to continue by Friday. Here's NASDAQ. Come on back here. There you go. And starting to hit, at least roll over a little bit after an insane run from mid-March. I think a lot of it's like Bitcoin, starting to hit some overbought levels on long-term daily time frames. There you go. Amplified RSI just hit yesterday and came out of the zone. So I'm going to be looking for a pause here. Again, another pause up against these levels around 15,200. Wouldn't be surprised to see us come back down, a couple hundred points from here. Keep an eye on, just be aware, we hit it yesterday. And not to mention, since the peak back in November, that was your first overbought test, should bring some pressure. How much pressure? Maybe we go back to the 50 level. And in the process, price does 382 to a 50 retracement, 14.4. Just look at that. Be careful. Paul's asking, you're asking about the Gartley. If a Gartley fails, it can turn into a butterfly. No, it's not like that. Maybe I'll circle back on that Monday. Again, a lot of the takeaways, a lot of the moves we saw, okay, were first leg reactions. Crypto, stocks. I posted this on Tuesday, and we talked about this in the session. And again, I would treat all of these moves as like big first push reactions. Zoom, where'd you go? It's a big bat pattern on the weekly. There you go. So I had posted that on the day it popped, like 2 days ago. But what we were talking about on Tuesday was the fact that there's plenty of time. It's going to take several bars, and your zone for Zoom, 121.14 is the big 886. Anywhere in that level is fair game. Just break it down and start to locate the larger zone. It looks like this on a 4-hour chart. There you go. So we're looking in here for the larger development, okay, off the that weekly pattern. But remember, it's an all-time weekly pattern. You're 3 weeks, 4 weeks into the fact that it's trying to reverse and it's all-time data. That could take another 4 or even 8 weeks to consolidate before it does any kind of massive move. but it's there. You've started the process. But look for a little check back in here. I think this is where we really can start looking at these. That was the takeaway for Tuesday. That patterns are going to give you plenty of time. Okay, look for that thrust, look for that individual signature reversal behavior, and then hit it in the zone. How do you manually calculate the hop levels? You don't. You get the software. The hop levels are based on layering techniques that I lay out in volume 3 if you want to read more about that. But the hop levels are different for every pattern. And, they're I, I'll give you one. Like for the normal crab, you use the 1.902. All the other ones, you can try to figure them out, or you can just get the software. Like this hop level is not going to be relevant because it's minus 1346. That's why you got to know how to use it too. But the most important aspect of it is tell me what it's doing after the completion. And I mean, again, 3-5 bars minimum. That's how the best opportunities unfold. Here, let me blow up terminal bar so you can see it. It's like that. Right in there. Let's go over really quick. S&P 500 is been fairly volatile. I gotta say, it's on an intraday basis. S&P 500, the action's been really good. Those E-minis they're great. If you're not trading E-minis, you should. Down today. What are we looking at? No real patterns here. Intraday 886 right there at about 45.80. But we are clearly off the low. This is, again, daily chart dictating what's going on here with the shark pattern. Type 2 shark. Despite the pullback, and I'm not surprised, look, we got to, until you violate that trend line, it's either 47.40 or, 44.80. Plenty of time on that, despite today. You could put it like this. You break under for like 44.80, yeah, maybe you'll have a problem. Until then, I think 47.40 off the shark is a likely objective, unless something else develops here. Fairly surprising how strong it's been. One or two more. Crude oil. Despite everything, and as I said on Monday, I think we got to turn off the news. I think we just have to go into like complete blackout at this point going forward. I think I need to, or I'm going to lose it because it just is. There's a lot of easy things to get frustrated on, and I don't think that's really constructive as a trader. I think you do have to at points kind of create your own bubble and stay positive no matter what. Stay strong. And I think in today's news cycle with all the garbage and nonsense, yeah, it just look at the charts. Let's look at the measurements. Crude oil, look, this past week was rejected off the exact 618 retracement. That's all that was. All right, maybe we get something like a Gartley or pullback here and then try to go again. Look for this important low around 98 bucks, $100. I expect them to defend this. I really expect $100 to get defended, where the weekly, look at the weekly chart. Again, still hanging up there after our all-time 886 retracement at 125. Let's see where this finishes up by Friday. Tomorrow, it looks like this. It's a big fight. It's a big fight against current, the current resistance off the 886, which is there, 125. I mean, it's dead on. And then this uptrend, which is a steep uptrend. So if we start running under 100 next week, okay, it's going to take more time, whatever. You'll have to come back and kind of resolve this big spike move. But then I go to things like natural gas that was much like crude oil. Before crude oil did its huge move, natural gas went nuts. Natural gas did this, and now look what natural gas is doing. So no matter what, no matter how we come off of crude oil comes off of the most recent highs and how much it wants to pull back, I think nat gas is showing us what's really going on. And that's a steady uptrend. This was a pretty nasty correction from 650 down to under 4. But ever since then, it's been mostly green and continued sweeping higher lows and some higher highs, but the higher lows, again, are more important. And look at that within the context of the long-term trend. This is why I think crude oil, energy, all of these have a long way to go. You can get pullbacks along the way, but with natural gas, if we can get above 650 again and start making new highs here very soon, this is where it launches. And you have nothing but air up here. I mean, this is the other thing about natural gas. Essentially, from 7 to 12 or 13, there's no resistance. I think something's coming. That's what the charts say. Another big candle, maybe April. Then the whole thing, the whole cycle, the whole mega cycle's back on. And I've said this for a long time. Don't be surprised if we don't try eventually in a crazy move to go back to retest the monthly deep crab from 2005. That's what's at stake down here. And the other thing, you can just look at the takeaway here. You can see how many bars are accumulating, picking up steam, picking up more demand, picking up a larger position. Okay, this is different than, say, the 2012 run. Once you had a spike down, you didn't come back. Same with here. It was really like a 1 or 2 bar thing. Now you have this move, and then you're coming right back. That's what's different from this move currently off the low. We've seen this in almost every commodity. All the ag sector are doing this. Natural gas is probably one of the last ones to catch up. So a lot more there. And again, it's going to take time, but you don't have far to go. You're 572 on the continuous futures front month. You get to 650 or 7, it's gone. Here's Boyle. This has been one of those that doesn't look like anything there, but it looks like something here. Okay, remember this? We were on this last year at 20, 22, all the way back down in here. Huge move up. Back down for another Gartley. All right. Kind of have a bat pattern thing now. I'm not too concerned about it. I say Boyle on this move gets to probably target to the 78 level. And then beyond that, we'll deal with it beyond that. Probably the better way to play this longer term to catch the larger move is UNG. And yeah, it's got a bad pattern right now on the daily. Here's your weekly for UNG, and this shows that breakout level even better than the futures, above 22 on UNG. Okay, you trade 19. We've been talking about this since at least 14, somewhere like there. It's like USO. Remember USO before and then USO after? I think that's UNG. I mean, that's amazing. Look at that USO. Incredible deep crab. Look at that deep crab, folks. Just amazing. From the 2017 low, July low, up to the October 18, you had a beautiful deep crab. The 1618 was there, but terminal bar was around 18. And now, well, this is pretty interesting because USO topped out at target 2, 86.74. I mean, exactly. We're going to have to look at that. Keep an eye on USO. We'll look at this next week. The big breakout scenario for crude oil happens on USO, obviously, above those highs. I mean, everything happens above those highs. So let's see. Probably the best thing for USO is spend a couple more weeks grinding higher and then break out this summer. It's based on what I'm hearing and based on kind of the uptrend of some of this recent moves, the fact that we haven't retraced that much. I just think we are pausing here, but that's all it's going to be. And take a look at, it's at weekly. Interesting. Weekly, we have a complex structure, but it hasn't come out of the zone yet. So that needs to come out. If it's going to register, we'll know by tomorrow or Monday. Let's see what happens there. Come back to this on Monday. I just think it's, crude oil has been so strong that we can give it a couple more bars to see whether or not is it going to pause? Are we going to do a retracement here? Or are we going to keep going? It was really strong into these numbers. So I say give it another week, 2 weeks. Definitely. I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to save my voice. So everyone else, you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to roll out. We'll be back on Monday, 11:30. Thanks again for the time. Get with Harmonic Trader, please. Save my voice. Just read the instructions. Get with the free trials. And then we'll get back to this on Monday. I have some announcements for Monday. I was going to announce today, but I'm going to save it for then. But until then, have a great weekend. As always, go get them. And we'll see you Monday. Thanks.